Carlos, was the frustration at the end specific to that at bat, or had it been building throughout the game?
Yeah, it was, been building up the whole game. I can go back and strike two on Soto. I think it was the second at bat. It's not even close to the strike zone. And then, especially in that situation, leading off an inning, you're down two, and you want to get guys on base and kind of keep the line moving. So, hopefully Soto and P gets a chance here. And then you get two calls like that they don't go your way. Just pretty frustrating.
Overall, despite the loss today, what do you make of the way you guys fought through this series shorthanded?
Yeah, I mean, it was a hell of a series, and even on a day like today, the guys fought back. We got down, and they kept fighting. I thought the at-bats were there, throughout the whole game. And, yeah, we just came up short today, but whether with guys coming off the bench, Mauricio, Beatty ready to go, guys coming from the bullpen, keeping it, somehow close there, and giving the offense a chance. I thought overall, not only today, but the whole series, proud of the guys.
Dan?
What happened to Marte?
Yeah, that knee flared up again. It's the same knee that he had issues with last year, spring training. So, they're taking a look at him right now and then see what we're dealing with him.
What's your level of concern with that?
I got to wait, I was just talking to him, and, it's like, obviously I felt it, but I got to wait and see what the doctor says, or the trainers.
Joel?
Carlos, considering it's a bullpen game versus Fried, when it gets to 5-4 in the sixth inning, are you like, I would have signed up for this just to play it like this?
Yeah, 100%. You get to those middle innings and going into the seventh, and you down one, you like your chances. I felt like we're getting the momentum back in the game, but they were able to add on one more in the seventh there. But just to be able to put pressure on them, and in that inning, bases loaded, nobody out, like you felt good about your chances. But again, came up short, but loved how the guys battle, and they kept fighting. So it was, like I say, I was proud of the group today.
Andy?
Just also with Fried, in terms of getting his pitch count up pretty high, pretty early. What did you see there in the at-bats?
Yeah, I thought we took some really good at-bats. We made him work. We didn't chase, especially that cutter in and off, which has been a pitch for him lately, He's going to that cutter. We foul off some pitches. We lay off some breaking balls. We put the ball in play. We found holes. We created traffic, deep counts, and, everybody saw it. To get him out of the game there, and kind of get into their bullpen, it was good to see that.
Peter?
The play that you challenged on Bellinger's catches, how did you see that play?
Yeah, pretty incredible play there. Probably the play of the game there. Maybe an inch. But the jump off the bat was pretty impressive. Obviously I'm taking my chances there. I wanted to give it a look, and it's a tough spot for Lindor to be in as a base runner. He kind of gets caught in no man's land there, obviously. But again, I just wanted to give it a look. Given where we were at, I knew I was going to have another one later if I lost that challenge there. And when you see the replay, it was a hell of a catch there.
Tim?
How much, if at all, did you contemplate walking Judge in that spot in the fifth?
Obviously, I did, but it's not like I like the matchup what was behind him either, and you're down three. He's the fourth inning, I think it was, pick your poison there, even though it's Aaron Judge. But given where we were at bullpen-wise and down three, I wasn't going to do it.
Tony?
In that sixth inning rally, was pinch hitting for Senger a non-starter for you, or did you consider it there?
Yeah, I consider it, but, it's one of those that already kind of almost empty the bench there, and playing with one guy, coming off a pretty good line drive of Free there, even though it's a tough at-bat, right on right, but then you put in Louis on a tough at-bat too, right on right against Loaiziga. So, I thought about it, but obviously I didn't do it.
Andrew?
What did you think about the performances of both Davinsky and Rico there in the...
Yeah, huge, Devo goes out there, gets a quick first inning. We send him back out there. He kept throwing strikes, using his changeup, the fastball. And for him to go 2 innings there, kind of like what we needed there. And then Rico, keeping us in the game the last 2 innings there and giving the offense a chance, coming in, throwing strikes, attacking, using all of his pitcher. I thought the cutter, touched 97, I think I saw. It was a solid job by those two there.
Steve.
Carlos, you mentioned Mauricio and Beatty coming off the bench. Specifically with Mauricio, that's now 2 days in a row where he's put together some pretty good at-bats coming off the bench. What has he shown you in those spots?
Yeah, that he's ready to go, and that he's handling whatever we're throwing at him. Whether he's in the starting lineup or he's not. His name is not on the starting lineup. He's ready to go. Yesterday we saw it, pinch hit, first pitch. He's a double. Today, same thing. He says a lot for a young player to be able to handle that role the way he's doing it. So it's always good to see the young players contributing, and especially a guy like Mauricio who missed so much time last year. And I don't think he's been in this role before. And with missing so much time last year, for him to it's not easy coming off the bench, and you're facing pretty good arms. And he continues to be ready.
Roger.
Carlos, in sort of a more big picture thing, over the last handful of days, you sound very enthusiastic about the way the team is hitting. You're now looking at a week where you might be getting Sean Manaea back, you might be getting Kodai Senga back. How enthusiastic are you about what that team might look like at the All-Star break?
Yeah, obviously getting those guys back is huge. They're a big part of this team. Since day one, we've been missing Sean. We saw what Kodai is capable of doing, especially in that rotation, and then Winker, that bat, from the left side. It's exciting, but we got to get there. We got to get there. I don't like getting ahead of myself. It's one day at a time. Off day tomorrow, and then back at it on Tuesday.